So, Chance, players that didn't get moved at the trade deadline. I mean, excuse me, during the draft, who everybody was watching for. Uh, Dame Lillard, Zach LaVine, Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby, Zion Williamson. All those
Yep.
guys stayed pat. Were you surprised that that none of those guys moved after hearing all of those guys' names for weeks, in some cases months, in some cases years?
Right. I was a little surprised. I thought we'd get a little more fireworks, especially with how the day started. But yeah, at the end of the day, it all depended on the draft in Charlotte went to, and there's all the smoke screens. Are they going to go Scoot? Are they going to go Brandon Miller? They end up going Brandon Miller, which means okay, now it's time. Like, is Portland going to trade Dame, take Scoot, or are they going to trade the pick and try to get win now players? And they didn't either. They drafted Scoot, but they still have Dame as well. There's the report that I guess Dame met with the front office and they're still trying to build a winner around him, but they've got all these young guys now. So they're kind of at a standstill where it's like, Dame kind of feels like it's probably best to move on, but he doesn't want to be the one to say it. And the franchise probably thinks that they need to initiate a rebuild, but they don't want to be the team that traded Damian Lillard. And so it's kind of like at this standstill now where I don't know how long that's going to go, but definitely expected something to happen there. And then, all the other guys, they've been on the block for a while. So we'll see what happens in the future.
Dude, you know what it sounds like? How long have you been with them? What, 10 years now at this point? It sounds like someone that's been married for a decade, and they're like, we're not really in love anymore, but
We're
I
just
don't
kind of
want to
going
be the
through the
one.
motions. Yeah.
You don't want to be the one. Let's
Like
just.
we don't want to upset the kids, like the fans. They love us, so we'll just do it for them, and we'll ride it out. And then 10 years later, somebody will cheat, and it'll be forced to go at that point. That's kind of where they're at right now.
Yeah, man. It's hopefully they figure it out, because when you see all this stuff, like it's all this smoke and mirrors in the news cycle about Damian
Mhm.
Lillard, and this is what I have always said. It first started out where teams were where these news cycle would always be, well, Dame should leave, Dame should leave, Dame should go somewhere, and Dame would always consistently say, "I want to stay here in Portland."
Yep.
That was his thing. But now I kind of think things have changed, because I really feel like Damian Lillard would not, a lot of these stories wouldn't be what they are if Dame hadn't been feeding into him of late. Like by saying things like, well, I don't want to be here for a rebuild,
Hmm.
and being adamant about it. And then also letting all these stories go off. So I truly do believe that Damian Lillard, at his heart, he wants to go somewhere else, but he just is so hung tied on being quote unquote loyal, because he set up this ridiculous precedence for himself, right?
Yeah. I mean, how many rap songs and rap lyrics does he have about being loyal to his team? And like that's his whole persona, is being loyal to Portland. And I admire it. We don't see that very often in today's NBA, where guys are jumping ship all the time, left and right. And so I respect it. But at the end of the day, like, you want to do what's best for you. You love Portland, you love the community that you're in there, and you love the
Mm-hmm.
organization. But Portland is clearly like kind of at a crossroads where they're most likely shifting towards a future build with Shaden Sharp, Anthony Simons, and they just drafted Scoot Henderson. Like, these guys are not ready to go out and make a deep playoff run right away. Dame's pushing 33 this year. Like, he's clearly only got a couple really good years left, even though he just had perhaps his best season of his career numbers wise. He's ready to win now. And so if Portland is going to commit to build around these young guys, like, something's got to give. My guess is that it kind of lingers into the season. Maybe they try out and see how it works with Dame and Scoot, and then maybe at the deadline, then they decide to make a push. There's really only a couple teams that I think would be viable for Dame, but definitely expected to see some fireworks there.